for doing the shit he did. There ain't no fucking way they'd be like, wait a minute, you gonna come in and do what? Tear up our Constitution and you gonna rule us? Fuck you. Yeah, get rid of him.
His name is Trump. He can trump everything.
I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, and here's my problem is I understand it too well. They'd be like, why are you so upset? I said, yo, because there are people that you elected, that you fucking elected. Forget Trump. There are people that you sent to Washington that are not doing their fucking job. I don't care if they don't pass any laws this year, any new shit. Stop letting this motherfucker get away with shit that ain't in that fucking Constitution. And the problem is a lot of us out here know it. Right? He runs shit up to the Supreme Court and they come with some bullshit. Well, if we twist ourselves in knots enough, we can kind of see how they kind of meant to say that. But no, they didn't, dude. If you know the history of the fucking country, they came here and took this fucking land from the people that was originally here. Then they put laws in place to make sure nobody would take it from them. Bottom line, that's what it means. If you don't understand it in the layman's terms, that's what they did. They came here, took this fucking country, they escaped from where they were from, and said, look, we're going to take this shit over here and we're going to put laws in place to make sure that nobody takes it from us. That's what they did. And now you're going to come in all these 3, 4, 5, 600 fucking years later and go, well, this is one guy we're going to let get away with shit that we never let anybody in the history of the country ever get away with. Nah, man, we need to push back. That's why those protests matter, man. We need to, like, look, man, stop this bullshit, dude. This is one fucker. We're not changing everything for him. He's a fucking criminal. Send him back the way he belongs.
They need to stop.
It worked just fine up to now.
They need to stop making presidents that's so old, because it's almost like they don't really give a shit. They don't really.
But again, it goes back to Lincoln, Larry. I'm telling you, it goes back to fucking Lincoln, man. If Lincoln would have did his fucking job, stop being a bitch ass motherfucker, we wouldn't be going through this right now. When that Civil War ended and the North won, and he let General Lee and all them motherfuckers go back south with their heads held high and teach that fucking hate that we're still living with today, they could have ended that shit right then. He could have took all them motherfuckers and hung them. So, yo, wait a minute, y'all went to war against your own country?
Right.
And you lost? So you know what that means, right? Death. That's treason. He let these motherfuckers get away with treason. And say if this sounds familiar, for the betterment of our country, I think it would be best if we just let them go over to. I'm like, yo, man, that's where white privilege started, right then. These motherfuckers are criminals, dude. They threat treason, kill them. They need to die.
Not even death, just incarceration. So now
here, forget incarceration, death. That's treasonous. You fight against your own.
No. I mean, but you think about it though. If they wanted slavery so bad and they lost, then you put them in jail and make them work on a chain gang and make them.
But the problem is they're still in jail. They're still in jail teaching their teachings. They're still putting shit in people's heads, right? You cut off the head of that fucking snake. You set an example and say, look, you want to be treasonous? You want to go against this country? Here's what's gonna happen to your ass. Headless. You teach right then, like, well, we ain't fucking around with that shit. If I see any of them Confederate flags or any of that bullshit, here's what's gonna happen to you. And you in that shit, right? That means you make them motherfuckers go under a rock and teach their hate and secrecy some fucking where. It wouldn't necessarily kill it off, but you would have made it against the fucking law to walk around with the Confederate flags and all that bullshit. That shit, when you talking about people with Afghanistan flags and shit, Confederate flags have been around for hundreds of fucking years, dude. What the fuck are we doing?
I mean,
we got two countries here. It's an American flag, not a fucking Confederate fucking flag.
I mean, but if you look, there's skinheads and stuff that they want to wear Nazis flags and tattoos and stuff.
You don't see the military coming in them fucking states with it, right? That's bullshit, bro. Bullshit. The Confederate flag has been around forever. What military person has been in South Carolina, in North Carolina? None. You ain't going anything to kill a Confederate flag. That's why I was like, man, when he started this shit, bro, I wish I was there. I could put my words in their mouth. I'm like, man, when he starts that shit, bring up the Confederate flag and tell him why the fuck have we been running around, and now he's trying to rename the military back to these Confederate fucking leaders after we done changed the names and shit. We need to make that shit go away, dude. But here's the thing. They talk out of both sides of their mouth. I want to keep General Lee alive, but I want to not teach slavery in school. I want to make slavery go away over here, but I want to remind you of it over here. Like, what the fuck are we doing, man? If you want to really make it go away, we change the name. So therefore, if you really want slavery to be forgotten and all that bullshit, then we need to make us forget General Lee ever existed, right? So get rid of his name, get rid of the naming of all the
holiday
and all that shit. Forget the name. Oh no, we want that alive. We want to remind you of it over here, but we don't want to teach you about it in schools over here. Like, dude, what the fuck we do? The Republicans are so full of shit, dude. I'm like, yo, man, call them on their bullshit, right? You got to stop with this shit. Just stop. But no, sometimes the Democrats are just too fucking nice. I'm like, man, stop being so fucking nice, dude. Start calling these guys the liars that they are. Expose this shit. You have people voting against their own interests in the middle of the fucking country. They poor shit, voting for Republicans. They ain't going to give them shit. They're just stupid fucking people, man. You can't help stupidity. They so full of hate that they would burn down the fucking country and kill themselves before they have to share it with an immigrant that's helping them make fucking money.
Rosewood. They'll tear up their own shit just to be dumbasses. I mean, look, they ended the NFL with the end racism sign and the sign they painted on the ground and stop discrimination in Washington D.C. I mean, all of that.
They've been taught to hate, like Black Lives Matter. They want that painted over now, right? They want to get rid of that shit. The shit that was written in Washington, right? It's just stupid shit. I'm like, yo, what does it matter? Why does it hurt you so fucking bad that is written on the fucking street? Just drive over the shit and keep it moving, man. Or in fact, don't pay attention. Don't even fucking look at it, right? Don't worry about it. Why are you so fucking concerned about it? You so full of rage and hate. But they built on hate. Their whole thing is about hate. They have no agenda. They just hate. That's it. It should be the haters party. All they do is hate. I'm like, yo, do you have a plan for the country? No, we just hate it. We want to give money to all the wealthy people and hate everything else. Oh, yeah, so you want to put up a war against Elmo and Sesame Street, right?
Yeah, right. That's fucked up. Fucking with Big Bird.
Disney, right? And Big Bird and Disney and all that. What the fuck are we doing? What are y'all doing, man? That shit don't matter. We don't give a fuck about that. Y'all do, yeah, but this is a problem, man. This is a problem, man.
Mr. Rogers was a wacko.
Fucking problem, dude.
Mr. Rogers was a wacko.
Yeah, in California, there's too many gays and too much stuff going on over there. Yeah, California actually subsidizes half this fucking country, dumbass. You should leave California alone. If it wasn't for California, dude, about half America would be asked the fuck out. But they've been teaching in Oklahoma and all that to hate Californians. But do you realize, man, they're the reason why you have health care, dumbass? Just stop. You should be thankful that California exists. If it didn't, you'd be fucking assed out.
And New York.
And New York, exactly. New York and California subsidize more than half this fucking country. You should be happy they're around. We hate them because they're educated and they look down on us. They should look down on you. You're broke and stupid.
A lot of things in my era, they always change, and I mean it's sad because like me trying to get a book out. Who's to know when they gonna shut all that shit down? They didn't shut down Dr. Seuss.
It's one thing to be broke. You're born into being broke, right? Your family don't have money. You're born into that. You don't have to be stupid, right? You're both, because you let these politicians fool your ass, following them, and they don't give a shit about you. And it happens every year. I mean, if it happened 4 years ago, it happened once or twice. Okay, you got fooled. That's okay. Everybody may get fooled once. This shit happens with you people over and over and over again. That shit don't make sense. Fucking Trump was just in office. He was just in office 4 fucking years ago. But you so full of hate that a black man was ever the president of this country that you will do whatever you got to do to make sure it looks lily white. Put a fucking criminal in office. Well, he's talking the shit I want to hear. What part of it? When he told your broke ass that he was going to take shit from you right in front of you, and you elected him going, well, that's not what I voted for. Yes, it is. He told you what he was going to do. You thought it wouldn't affect you.
Let me tell you.
Part of that you didn't understand that you were part of that broke society. What part of your bank account that told you were a multimillionaire?
So do you think
stupid people, man?
Listen,
stupid.
do you think Biden would have had a better shot than Kamala?
Biden would have won because he has a dick. Point blank, he's a male. He would have won. He wouldn't have finished, but he would have won. If the Democrats thought they were going to put a black woman up, a woman of color after Obama, to run against Trump, shit. my worst fear. Now, I was excited. It was all exciting when all those people were showing up at them rallies and all that. Rallies aren't votes. Rallies won't win. When people go in that booth by their fucking self, not votes. There are not enough people willing yet where it needs to get so fucking bad that they're ready to vote for a woman. She should have won. Hillary should have won.
Yeah, she should have. Against
Both
him.
of them were qualified to be the president. He should have never won. But this dumbass country, right? Look at, and even some of the women won't vote for a woman because they think like a man needs to be the president. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And then the males, I don't want a woman in charge of me and shit. I don't want her to be the king of me in charge. Like, stop, man. Stop that, man. Did you come from a woman, man? Were you born to a fucking woman?
Yeah.
Is your mom a fucking woman? Why do you got a problem with electing a fucking woman to be the president? When your ass was in diapers, a woman was taking care of you, dumbass. Stop. Stop. I don't want her to be in charge. I can't see a woman being president. She's too out of control. That woman already went through menopause, dumbass. Right? Ain't no menstrual pain gonna make her start a fucking war. Stop this stupid shit, man. Stop. We not teenagers anymore talking this dumb shit. Stop.
We got more chance of a war with him than it would have been of her.
A woman is just as capable of making a good fucking decision as a man. In some cases, even fucking better. Right? Because males tend to let their ego get in the fucking way.
Trump.
Stop this dumb shit, right? I want to elect the best fucking person to make the best fucking decision for my life. Point blank. I don't give a fuck if it's a woman, male, a fucking chimp. I don't give a shit. Put the right person in there to do the job. Let's stop this dumb shit. You know the one person I don't think about when I live every day? The fucking president, right? Guess who I think about every day now? The fucking president. When I'm living my life and I'm walking around, I ain't thinking about what the fucking president is doing. You expect the president to do the right fucking thing. If the president's doing the right thing, America lives their lives with freedom and don't even worry about that bullshit.
But he's staying in the limelight. He loved the attention. He always.
That's what I'm saying. The president ain't supposed to be about that. The president has the most important job that the Americans hired them to do. These males that won't vote for a woman don't understand. You're electing somebody to work on your behalf. She works for you. The power you have is you're going to decide that this is the person I'm going to put in that office to do the best job. The fact that you can't vote for her, your ego that won't allow you to do it makes you a very fucking small male. That you can't you can't bring yourself to vote for a fucking woman. Seriously. You wouldn't hire that motherfucker to be the CEO of your country. Of your company, but you elect him to be your fucking president.
You know what? No fucking sense. All in all, with all of the stupid stuff he's done and how and hopefully the country just don't go flip flop. But I mean, he allowed a lot of things where in the future, if they bring in the future better people, they have a chance to push more agenda.
But here's the thing,
not
Larry.
Dumb agenda.
Here's the thing, man. You heard men saying, "I don't know her like that" when it came to vote. I don't know if I'm gonna vote because I don't know her like that. If I would have pushed back on them right away. I said, "Excuse me, what politician did you know like that you voted for?"
All right.
Which politician were you hanging out with that you knew like that? The fuck you talking about? If you don't know her like that, then get the fucking know her. You already know what he is. You need to get to know her. That's on you. Fuck you, you don't know her like that. That's no excuse to vote for her. I don't know her like that. Did you know Clinton like that? I don't know. Did you know George Bush? Like, which one of them fucking politicians did you know like that? It was dumb shit, dude. Just dumb shit. In other words, just admit, man, that you don't want to vote for a woman, right? So you look stupid.
A lot of people didn't vote.
Yeah, well, and that too. Won't vote.
Well, that's why
died and shit. They died and got hosed down, went to jail, so your ass could vote.
But see, that's part of the agenda now for marijuana and all that, so that people can be inebriated and don't have the time. They want to lollygag because this motherfucker sit on the corner every day and don't have no ambition.
Man, look. Here's what America has an epidemic with, right? And Martin Luther King warned against this. Martin Luther King never said you have to go get a degree. Right? Martin Luther King said, go and become educated. Not a degree. Just know shit. Know some shit. right? That's all I want you to do. A degree requires money. It's a whole politics around that shit system now, right? Cost you $1,000 to get a degree now, right? Now you go to junior college and get a degree, but the whole point is you can become educated without a degree. You don't need a degree for that. There's no excuse for stupidity. You can go, you learn some shit, know about some shit, so people are not hoodwinking you.
Well,
but now you got the idiot box and all these other fucking distractions and all this, and all it takes now, because you so busy living your life and going to work every day, not knowing what's going on. Never took a savings course. You don't know what's happening, right? You're too busy. I gotta pay my bills. I gotta go to work. I don't understand that any politician can stand in front of a soapbox and lie to you, and then you believe it based on propaganda and other shit. Run and elect them and go, oh shit, didn't know he would do that. Yeah, it's pretty fucking easy, to find out. All of us over here on this coast knew what Trump was. We tried to warn all you people in the middle of red hat wearing motherfuckers over there. He don't care about you. Oh no, he's the greatest. He said some shit I liked last week. Yeah, that's the whole point. He wants your vote, dumbass. He's gonna say a lot of shit you like. That's the whole point. What the fuck he gonna think he'll stand up there and vote for me? I'm gonna say all a bunch of shit you don't like.
New York hates him.
Yeah, because they know him.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us in Philadelphia hate him because we know him.
Exactly. They hate him.
he's done a lot of business.
I hate him. I know him. He's a prejudiced motherfucker, man. He's been there for a long time. Central Park 5. He said all of them need to be executed.
Yep.
When the evidence clearly showed they were innocent. And it took a motherfucker admitting that he did this shit to get them out of prison. When they clearly knew there was only one set of fucking footprints in that park. The police knew there was only one set of footprints. 5 motherfuckers went to jail. One set of footprints. They threw that shit out of the case. If they had introduced that into the case, that's reasonable doubt. Like a motherfucker, like y'all done, dude. There's no sense you got 5 guys, one set of footprints. What, all of them hopped in the same footprint while they were raping this woman? That don't make sense. But this kind of hypocrisy has been going on in this country against black people. So when OJ got found innocent, why do black people celebrating? Why are they so happy? Like, yeah, because we've been seeing this shit happen for years. Y'all been getting away with this kind of shit for years.
You watching
how's it feel now?
You watching Godfather of Harlem?
Yeah.
You watching Joe Colombo be a politician?
Yeah, I've seen that bullshit. I've seen it. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
Ken really I think you should be a politician, man. I really do.
Yeah, I've seen that bullshit, dude. I'd be a hated motherfucker, man, because I'd be calling them on the bullshit all day, like, please stop. I know the history of this country. Please stop. Please stop.
That was
they kind of force you to kind of say a thing without saying it. Like, I can say this to you and be real with it. If I was about to stump, there's certain shit that I'd have to put a different way, even though I would want to say it the way I'm saying it. Because I'm like, yo, man, please stop. Please stop this shit. It just stop. Right? There's no bounds to this racism, man. This shit is fucking ridiculous.
How you feel about the congressman that got slammed to the ground to get?
Man, that was the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever seen. This Spanish-speaking politician who showed these guys who he were, or if not, he wouldn't even have been allowed to enter that room.
Exactly.
Right? And all of a sudden now, when he asks a question, he barged in, we didn't know who he was, he was out of control. Like, motherfucker, he had to show you with the Congress before you even let him in the room. He introduced who he was. He told you who he was. You wouldn't even let him in. If you mean to tell me I could walk down the Congress Hall and just enter any fucking room where they only me? No. Fuck no. Can I come in? Who are you? I'm just got one here. Nope, you can't come in. This motherfucker told you he was a congressman. You already knew before you started slamming him to the ground. The motherfucker was going to ask a question that was a poignant question that went into the Constitution. You didn't want that heard. So you slammed his ass to the ground and you made up an excuse after it was over with. And then they tried to flat out lie about it. He was out of control. He barged in. He was just saying shit out of turn. Like, no, that's not true.
He's talking.
He's a congressman. He's a senator. In fact, he's a fucking senator. Like, no, dude. He's allowed to ask you a question.
He was talking against their issues against their leader Trump.
Slammed to the fucking ground, right? I mean, there's a time where if the president ordered some shit like that, that motherfucker would be impeached. That's a senator, dude. They could rally up in the Senate and be like, this motherfucker ain't passing shit. We ain't gonna pass nothing he wants. You're a dumbass, dude. You're lucky this ain't the 70s because he wouldn't be the president right now. He would have got impeached. He'd be gone.
Well,
over a number of things he did.
Trump went across Trump, like I said, all write-ups of any officer, anything they did bad, he erased all their records so they could show him loyalty. So I guess he's going to erase their records too because they took down a Democratic congressman.
Senator. Yeah. Here's the thing, man. What Trump is doing and what some of these Republicans are starting to find out is this motherfucker ain't gonna be the president forever. But he's gonna ruin the Republican Party. Because if that bill passes, the Republicans own that shit. And come election time, it's going to be brutal. So y'all better fix the elections because I guarantee you won't be winning shit for a long fucking time. And some of them know it. That's why they're pushing back on that bill going, yo, man, we can't do this. Yo, the Democrats are going to come and clean this shit up again. It ain't going to be good for us.
Senator.
You know, and that's the thing that they understand. So a lot of them senators are starting to push back. Go, yo, we can't pass this bill, man. You're gonna add too much to the deficit. It's too much. We can't do this. And then some of them are reading some of the shit in the bill and going, you know, some of that shit in the bill where he's trying to say that he can get away with not listening to the courts. It's in that bill. So he's trying to say, well, once the court orders me to do something, now I don't have to do it. They can't find me in contempt of court. It's in the bill. And he wants Congress to pass that shit because he knows that's the only way that bypasses the courts. So he's gaming the system. He knows that the shit he did in California was wrong. He knows that already. He wants to see what he can get away with. Exactly. Just a few years ago, he was telling the reporter that he could not do the shit. Now all of a sudden, you can do it? Stop. You already know it's wrong. You just want to see what you can get away with.
He didn't want to do it on January 6th because they was rallying for him. They was rioting for him.
No, Larry. He already knows he cannot send the military into a state. Point blank. It's already on record and recorded where he told a fucking reporter that he cannot. He already knows he can't do it. So either you're fucking senile and forgot, which is a big fucking problem because you're the president and you old as shit, or you're just blatantly ignoring it because you want to see what you can get away with now that the Supreme Court told you you got some form of immunity, which they should have never did. Yep. Because the president, there's nobody that's above the fucking law. It's in the Constitution. Again, it goes back to they weren't going to put somebody in place to get rid of them. And the Constitution clearly is written that way. And I'm like, yo, dude, I'm sorry, man. This is one thing that I paid attention to in school. Social studies and civics courses, I'm on that shit all day long. This is the country I live in. I wanted to understand that shit. A lot of shit they told was boring and lies, but that shit, that's the truth. You know, because of Columbus discovered America, that's bullshit, right? But those civics courses, that's the truth. When they teach, that's how this country fucking runs. It ain't perfect. Because slave owners wrote the shit. It ain't perfect for black people at all. So there's a lot of shit they still need to fix and clean up. But some of the shit they have been cleaning up, the 14th, 15th Amendments and all, they were cleaning some shit up. This motherfucker wants to get rid of all that. Mm-hmm. And why don't they want to mention the 13th Amendment? Just go back and, you know, why is 13 unlucky? Once you discover that, you'll understand a lot of shit. Gaming the system, right? Why does no floors have 13 floors on them and all that shit? The hatred in this country is deep, bro. It's deep. 13 is unlucky, so there's no 13th floor. Really? Why not? Why is it unlucky? Please tell me why it's unlucky.
Ain't that the day he had his parade on?
No, 14th.
The 14th?
Yesterday.
Oh,
yeah. Friday was the 13th. We had a Friday 13th.
Yesterday.
So yes, if he did it on the 14th, that's his birthday, falls on the 14th.
Yeah, I ain't pay attention to what day he had the parade on on a Saturday.
Yeah, but the question is, go back over the history and find out why 13 is unlucky. I'll tell you a lot. But with that, man, did you understand? You understand the value of a Bitcoin, Larry? I'm learning about that shit, bro.
Nah.
That new money. You know what the value of a Bitcoin is, dude?
What's up? Right now? What's it up to now?
Just take a guess. One guess.
One Bitcoin.
One coin.
At least 12,000.
You know why I'm laughing, bro?
Why?
Because I remember when the value of a Bitcoin was 3 cents.
Right.
And everybody thought of it as a joke, right? About 8 years ago, they thought it was a joke. 3 cents. Nobody want that shit. That's bullshit. fake ass shit. It's bullshit, right? The value of one Bitcoin, Larry, is $105,000 fucking dollars, man. One coin. So that means if we could go back in time when it was worth 3 cents, we could buy $3 worth of fucking Bitcoins and we'd be fucking multi-billionaires.
Wow.
Multi-fucking billionaires.
When they did the GameStop scandal, we should have jumped on. That was the last time people got, people got on.
But the government and everybody else want to lead people to believe that there's no value there because they want to control the money, right? That one they can't control. They haven't been able to regulate it, right? So when Trump took office, the one thing he did do, because there were other governments that were trying to step in there and regulate that a bit. In other words, regulation means what? Control, right?
Right.
They want to control it because right now it's out of control. That means there are motherfuckers that in this country of color that can gain wealth and shit. We don't want that shit. This is out of control. But the problem is they want to control it within this country. You can't control it worldwide. You created the internet, and guess what? When you did that shit, you shrunk the world. So now you got motherfuckers bidding out and creating and tripling the fucking value of that fucking coin that I thought wasn't gonna be worth shit. Worth $105,000 fucking dollars. One fucking coin. Within 4 years, it met the value of $1, right? And dollars only backed by what? The gold, or supposed to be backed by the gold, right? So it's really set on what they say the value of the dollar actually is. This thing has surpassed the value of a fucking American dollar, dude. And they can't say, well, it can't be worth more than an American dollar because, well, yeah, it can because you have other countries. If Trump keeps doing what he's doing, the other country's money is going to be more valuable than American money. So there are different value sets to it, right? It's bullshit. You're trying to control it. You can't control it. They can't control it because they don't know who started it. They ever found that out, that person might be floating on a river some fucking way.
Right. Well, a lot of people did die that was controlling Bitcoin.
Well, no, that's it. They're not controlling it. They're just part of it.
They had shares. Yeah, they had shares in it. All of those PayPal and all of that, all of those people like that, they had conversions for Bitcoin. They got rid of those motherfuckers.
Let me call you back. I'm gonna answer this call. It's gonna cut our call off.
All right, boss. Bless.
Yeah.